Hey guys, it's MJ and Izzy from Endless RVing. Have you ever had sewer flies?
Or have you had your heat not work, or your AC, or your generator not work?
Or you show up to a campground and you realize that you didn't bring enough food? In today's video, we're gonna talk about 10 things that you really wanna make sure that you are aware of before heading out, because it could wreck your next RV vacation.
All right, so these are just 10 things. Not all of these we've experienced, but we have experienced some of them. The first one we haven't, because MJ is really good with this. So explain what the first one is.
But as I always say, let our mistakes be your guide, okay? So we've made these mistakes, so hopefully it will help you not to make these mistakes. Number one is not having enough food. Now, yes, Izzy
Well, that's never a problem.
Izzy always teases me. Well, because I'm married to you and you're always eating. So we always bring enough food. I think I bring too much food because that's always...
No. It's that you think. It's you do. Like, I'll look at the refrigerator, I'm like, hon, we're not going away for 2 months here. Like, this is insane. It's so much food that when we get back and we empty the refrigerator, I find things that I didn't even know were in there. Which is, I knew they were in there, or actually eat them.
I always tell you, you have to look at the cabinets and the closet and see, you know, what's there, because I like when we go to have a nice selection of foods, because then if I didn't, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I don't have enough to eat. So yes, anyway, we don't have this problem, but just make sure you kind of calculate when you're going out how many days, which meals you need, and just be sure that you bring enough with you.
And the reason why we say this is sometimes there's unforeseen things that happen, right? Like, it's happened to us already. We have a trip planned out that's going to take us 2 or 3 days to get somewhere, and all of a sudden there's bad weather or something happens on the RV, you're tired, whatever. You might have to extend that trip out a little bit longer. So you want to make sure you have enough food with you, right? Like, that's kind of an important thing. So yeah, like MJ said, number one, have enough food with you.
Number two is going to be not having enough fluids. So we'll talk a little bit about. Number one is water. We always go with water in our tank.
Well, not that we used to not do that, but now we do.
Now we do, because we learned. We were at a campground. This was last season. They had to turn off the water.
For like a day and a half.
Right. And we found ourselves going to certain sites that did have, right? Certain
we were
sites,
siphoning, well, they had like the main, right? So we were siphoning like pots of water to fill our tank.
Right. So, we learned very well that time.
Yeah, the next thing is to make sure you go in with enough fuel. We have a motorhome, as you know. Our motorhome has a generator. We like using that generator. However, you need fuel to run the generator. And if you don't know, now you know, there's a automatic safety cutoff that your generator will not work if you have less than 1/4 of a tank in the main fuel tank in your motorhome, obviously, so you don't get stuck. So again, we've been to places, this has happened numerous times, we have full hookups, but all of a sudden the power goes out and you have no power, like in Virginia when it's 95 degrees.
Right.
This we've always done. Whenever we are like just outside a campground, I stop, I'm topped off going in all the time, and we'll make sure our generator works because it's already happened, and we want to make sure we have electricity. But before we move any further, this video is brought to you by campgroundviews.com. What is campgroundviews.com? It is like a Google Maps for campgrounds. So you go on this website, you can go on and you can virtually see all different types of campgrounds from every single site, and then you can book it. How many times has this happened to you? You go to a campground, you see what you see online, and then you show up and it's something completely different. It's happened to us. We don't like it. We have teamed up with campgroundviews.com. If you use the code EndlessRVing, you can get 10% off on whatever membership you wish. We'll put the links below. Again, if you're camping a lot, this is totally worth it. Campgroundviews.com. So continuing regarding having enough stuff, propane's a big one. I always make sure our propane is topped off, because you never know, especially if you go early in the season or late in the season, you get those nights where it's going to drop below the temperature where your heat pumps work, if you have heat pumps, and you got to turn the heat on. And the furnace in motorhomes and RVs is very hungry. So if you're running minimal propane, you may have enough for a couple hours. So we make sure our propane's topped off. We should have enough for 4 or 5 days. Right. Which, you know, when we're going out, we know where we're going. The temperature shouldn't be that crazy for that long. But again, just keep that in mind. And
number 3 is going to be having appliances or other things break down while you're RVing.
That's happened.
This has also happened to us. You know, your refrigerator stops working or your AC stops working. Now, in this day and age, trying to find service is difficult anyway. There's a lot of mobile RV techs out there. You could attempt to get one, that may help. But the biggest thing when it comes to this is taking preventative measures. So making sure that you're keeping your ACs clean and that your fridge is, really, we shouldn't be packing it as tight as I do, especially the RV fridges. Doing things beforehand. But you know what? Stuff happens.
Yeah,
Stuff
it happened
happens.
to us
So,
at a campground, and our refrigerator was what? Not even a year old.
Yeah.
And the compressor went out, and we had to go, essentially I had to go get a cooler, fill it with ice, because we didn't want to lose so many things. But yeah, like MJ said, a lot of times, people are not RVing every weekend. You're going out a couple times a year. Maybe leading up to that trip, make sure everything works. Make sure you run your air conditioner.
Clean the filters,
yeah, make
all
sure
that
everything
important
works.
stuff.
So you may not be able to avoid something that goes wrong, but you may be able to just by using preventive medicine.
Right.
Also, like MJ was talking about, you might want to take an RV tech course. They're out there. That way, if something goes wrong, a lot of times these are just stupid things that happen, and you can kind of fix them if you know what you're doing.
Like 80% of issues that happen, if you take one of these courses, you would be able to help yourself fix it. So worth it. So number 4 is going to be tire blowouts. Now, these are very scary, very dangerous. We've never had one. Knock on wood, thank God.
You just jinxed it.
We are very careful with our tires. You always want to be checking your tires before you're headed out. You're always looking for any kind of tears and rips and rotting. Obviously, you want to be changing your tires. We say like every 5 to 7 years. That you can. Some people push it, but
I wouldn't push it.
No, don't push it. Being very careful with preventative measures once again. Another very important thing that we do.
Right, so you're doing it, like MJ said, you're doing all that pre-trip and when you stop. But when you're going down the road, obviously you can't do that. So what we really recommend is that you using a TPMS. There's many different models out there. We've done reviews on them. Currently, we're running the TireMinder i10. This is currently what we use, and we've been using this for over a year, and it's worked just great. And if you don't know what a TPMS is, essentially it is a tire pressure monitoring system, and it will tell you real time the pressure in your tires as well as the temperature. It will also tell you if you have a rapid pressure leak, a loss, or a slow loss, or if your temperature is too high, it gives you alerts. Basically, if something going wrong with your tires, this is going to tell you. Now, this is the i10 model, and we have a discount code that we've been using, get you 20 bucks off. We'll put it below. But we're now testing.
Very exciting.
This is probably, we think, one of the best ones on the market now. This is the TireMinder A1AS. We're going to be testing this because we're not going to recommend or not recommend until we put a couple hundred miles on it. But we just got this. If you're interested, below you'll have the discount code. But we're going to be doing a full video on it, so I recommend you wait till we do the video so you can get the feedback on this thing. But
it looks like a little iPad.
Yeah, look at the size. But they made a lot of improvements with this, supposedly. But again, a TPMS, whatever brand it may be, make sure you really should be getting one.
Number 5 is bugs. I hate bugs. Again, though, if you don't know our story about how we got into RVing, it was caused by bed bugs. We've told that story many times. So I am grateful to bugs. I hate bugs. There's so many, when you open that door, especially at night, you have the lights on, they come swarming in. There's sewer flies, which we have experienced in the past. Recommendation, again, you never leave your black tank open for one of many reasons, but gray tank, that people, some do, some don't. If we're taking a shower, we usually do, so we get that.
Well, there's water flowing through there.
Yeah, but if you're leaving it open all the time, we had one issue where we did get sewer flies.
Yeah, so one thing that MJ, because she doesn't like bugs, she's gotten that
the tennis racket.
Racket. We've talked about this many times. We'll link it below, but basically you can just kind of like knock out a whole family of them in one swat.
That sounds so horrible.
Well, it's the truth.
Don't personalize them. It makes it worse.
So yeah, bugs can definitely, on top of the bugs, repellent. You want some repellent too. You don't want to sit outside by a fire and get eaten up by mosquitoes. Right. So bugs, keep that in mind.
If you're enjoying the video so far, we invite you to join the family. Hit the subscribe button below. Hit the notification bell so you know when our next video comes out.
All right, number 6 is not planning out your trip. We're talking about like fuel stops and where you're going to stay and, all different variables, and not using like a GPS that kind of tells you where you should be going. Now, when you're driving a motorhome especially, but really on most RVs, you have height and weight restrictions on some roads, especially for us. We're almost 13 feet high. There's been times where we can't go down a certain road, and we know because we have an RV specific GPS. Right. There are ones out there. We're not saying that that's what you have to do. There's apps that you can use also. What we're saying is plan out your trip. We've been on a couple of trips. If something is iffy, one of us will run out even drive ahead to, you have a
Right.
spotter, right? Go out ahead 2-3 miles, see what you see, and is this going to be an issue? Because it's definitely much easier to turn around than to try to get, you know, your ripped off roof and then getting towed, whatever.
Yeah.
So take your time. There's no rush here, is what we're trying to say. So not planning and doing things like blindly, going down roads blindly, could definitely be a huge issue.
So number 7 is, we carry 2 very, very important things. Well, we carry a lot of important things, but these 2 we would never travel without. First one is a surge protector. Now, you can buy a much cheaper surge protector, okay, and it'll do the job somewhat. We always recommend getting an EMS because that's also going to check for low voltage, which the cheaper ones don't. We have
The Progressive we use.
The Progressive,
we'll link
yeah.
that below
And
also.
the Watchdog is another one too. We have a good friend, you know who you are, who recently experienced a horrible, he said the lights went up and then everything just popped because he didn't have a surge protector, and
It
now
blew out his microwave, a couple
Everything.
of refrigerators, a couple of lights, so
Yeah.
transfer switch, all that.
so those couple
fried.
$100 that you spend on one of these EMS is really well spent money.
And now another thing, talking about preventative things you should have, pressure regulator for your water source.
And then don't leave it at a campground.
Don't
like
leave
we
it.
did.
Now these are pretty cheap. You can get one for like 25, 30 bucks. If you don't know what that is, depending on where you go, and also depending on how many people are at the campground, some of the water pressures coming out of the water spigots can be in excess of like 70, 80 PSI. Most of these motorhomes are rated for like 55, 60. So what happens if you put too much pressure through is that you can blow out the connections, right? And you could have leaks. You don't want to do that. Pressure regulator, you put it on the spigot, and then your hose will go on the other side, and then you set the pressure. We set ours at 45, been more than enough. May never need it, but if you do need it, it's certainly worth the 25 bucks, right? And these last you the last 2 years,
Yeah.
as long as you don't forget them somewhere like I do.
Right.
Number 8 is bad weather. Bad weather when you're driving. Do not drive in high winds and just torrential down. It's not worth it. If you're towing something, that thing is swaying. If you're going down the road, it's not safe. So I'm not saying drizzle. I'm just saying, like, you know, you're going through Ida. You know, so like, don't do that. Now, regarding when you're at the campground, sometimes bad weather rolls your way, right? And talk about, you know, you're always on the weather.
Oh, I'm always looking at the weather. Like, it's almost an obsession. But, you know, you can get a NOAA radio to kind of dig a little deeper into it, but I'm always just
weather
checking.
apps.
Yeah, I'm always checking the forecasts and things. And also something else, don't forget to bring in your awning. That's just a little
yeah.
aside.
At night.
Yeah, at night, or if you're going to be out for a few hours and there may be a storm coming in or whatever, just a little tip.
Well,
there.
I'll even go further with the awning. We pull in our awning pretty much all the way at night. We just kind of leave a little bit out because you don't know, weather changes
Quickly,
So you can
yeah.
go to sleep
Yeah.
and it's fine, and then 6 hours later the winds are whipping up, and the last thing you want is your awning like being ripped out of the sidewall. We've actually left campgrounds early. Remember, we left Cherry Hill because
That was the snow.
there was snow in the
yeah.
forecast, and we knew, like, us coming back, snow, it wasn't happening. Like,
No.
we would not make it back into our driveway, so we cut the trip early a day because there was snow, because we were checking the weather.
Yeah. So number 9 is something that we still haven't mastered. And maybe you have some tips. It is forgetting work and leaving work at home. Now, I'm a business owner and I'm always working. I always have things I have to be addressing, either emails or things like that when we're away. And I really am focusing on trying to slow that down. And we get people that say to us, you guys put out so many videos, don't you ever stop? And the answer is kind of no. You know, it's a work in progress.
Well, we're
Let's
getting
just put it
better
that-
at managing it, right? So
Yeah.
we will try to do a lot of our work, and this is kind of a little off topic. We'll kind of do a lot of our work prior to going out, and then maybe we'll do like one video when we're out.
Right.
But the reality is we're not retired, right? So
No.
we still have to work. But for some people, you know, that vacation may be the only vacation they have, right? And then you bring in work into it. And again,
Right.
we're guilty of this, so just keep that in mind. If you're out on vacation with the family, try to enjoy it as much as you can.
And the last one is something that I did. It was a while
Sometimes
ago.
it
though.
happens.
I haven't done this in a long time. Booking the wrong type of site. So I did book a 30 amp site, and it wasn't.
Such first world problems.
I know. Well, you know, so hopefully we can avoid somebody else from doing the same thing. Obviously, we have 50 amps, and I booked 30 amps. Now,
It worked.
It wasn't too hot yet. I think it was like in
No.
May or something. So we were able to work off the 1 AC.
And
but
there's workarounds. You can get the soft starts and stuff like that. It's just
first
know what
world
you-
problems. But
yeah, know what you're booking.
right.
I mean, know that where you're going to go, you can fit. A perfect tool to use is the Campground Views right. because you can go in and you could actually look at the actual site with all the specs. You can book it right there. You can see exactly if there's trees low hanging, stuff like that.
How close is it next to the people next to you?
Yeah, so booking the wrong site, make sure you know where you're going.
So those are 10 things that really can wreck your RV trip.
10 of many.
10 of many.
Yeah, this is just 10. For, you know, we could go for hours here.
Yeah.
So in the comments below, let us know what is something that has wrecked your trip, or have all your trips been perfect? I don't believe that. Put it in the comments below. And for myself and MJ, we thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the road.